Hello, everyone. This is just absolutely brilliant, and it is my pleasure and honor to welcome you all back at the last day of our annual ritual called the Diversity Mahotsav. This is me, Lakshmi Vijay Kumar, or LV. Many of you have seen me over emails and WhatsApp text messages. This is me. You can put a face to those digital text messages and mails. I'm going to be your host for the day as we conclude our Diversity Mahotsav 2024. But before all that, a quick few hygiene checks. If you can, help me through that, just ensure that you have clocked out of your organization's VPN and also close every other application because we want your complete focus today. And just be here with us. That will also not only help you conserve the internet bandwidth at your locations, but also help us with your total focus on the last day of the fourth edition of Diversity Mahotsav. But before we move on, I would like to thank our partners without whom this wouldn't have been possible, right? The innovation catalyst partner, EPAM Systems, our supporting partners, Crizzle, Genesis, Via Plus by Vinci Highways, and Zushi Systems. Thank you so much. Heartfelt gratitude to each one of you and all the Spogs who have been working with us tirelessly. And yes, my dear audience who have been with us through the last 15 days, only on the weekends, of course. Thank you so much for your participation. So I hope you remember the social media hashtags, which is hashtag diversity mahotsav and hashtag celebrating diversity. And I hope you have not been forgetting to post your experience at Diversity Mahotsav on your SM handles with these hashtags. Before I move on, please do remember that all our DM episodes, in case you have missed any of our previous episodes, you can watch them on our YouTube channel. Avatar The Power of Diversity is the YouTube channel. Alternatively, scan the QR code that is there on your screens. That will let you to watch the episodes of all Diversity Mahotsav episodes. And also, if you're not already registered at myavatar.com, do it today because myavatar.com is a place that offers you with different opportunities and activities that celebrates you, that celebrates diversity. Do log on and browse through to find not only the jobs but also variety of skills, webinars. There are articles of interest, and do not forget to upskill yourselves through all the webinars which are exclusively curated for you. So that's it. Thank you so much, my dear guests. Welcome to the concluding day of Diversity Mahotsav, where where the spotlight is shined not only on DEI but on the very essence of what it means to celebrate our human kaleidoscope. We spark changes, there are opportunities, and today we have an absolutely splendid of a day. We have multiple things lined up for you today, right? I once again welcome you all on behalf of Team Avatar, which is India's premier diversity, equity, and solutions firm, and myavatar.com, which is the brainchild of Dr. Soundarya Rajesh, who is the founder president of Avatar. And myavatar.com is India's only diversity hiring portal. Thank you so much for joining us today. Welcome to Diversity Mahotsav. Let's celebrate ourselves. My dear audience, my dear delegates, have you heard of bumblebees? I'm sure you have. If any of you can just quickly put it out on their chat saying how many of you have heard of Bumblebee? Just a yes or a no. I hope the host has enabled the chat. Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you, Priya. You know, bumblebees are those unsung architects of nature, right? They are more than just the buzzing, I don't want to call them insects, but they are those pollinators that embody resilience and harmony. They carry a quite industriousness and they thrive in a different temperate climates. They display this amazing and remarkable adaptability to different environments. Their wings that seem very small for their robust bodies, they have defied all conventional aerodynamics, making every flight a marvel of natural engineering. In a world which is increasingly aware of these delicate balance of the ecosystems. Bumblebees stand as a symbol of interconnectedness. They remind us that even the smallest creature can have an immeasurable impact. We have someone whose book is titled Bumblebee's Balcony. Yes, you heard me right. We have with us Sundari Sivashubu, who has 15 years of experience in the newspaper, banking, IT industries, and she's a communications professional. She's a writer, she's an editor. She's born with multiple disabilities, which, uh, you know, including cerebral palsy. She has authored this book called A Bumblebee's Balcony, which is a collection of anecdotes that focus on overcoming personal and societal barriers, addressing biases, examining those little social views on normalcy. Her interests include corporate communications, DEI, disability and accessibility, CSR, sustainability, and internal communications. In addition to all her work, this huge canvas that she has built for herself, she engages in blogging, poetry, and storytelling. And guess what? She also runs a YouTube channel called The Bumblebee Way. She regularly speaks on topics on personal leadership, DEI, disability and accessibility, and resilience. She is currently working with the R.R. Donnelly in their internal corporate communications team, and she has been part of the HCL, the New Indian Express earlier, ABN AMRO Bank in the past. We have with us uh, Sundari today, who exhibits the can-do attitude, the courage, the common sense that the thing to please define me. She has this thirst for creating an impact in anything that she does. Be it people, be it products, be it services, anything. Welcome, Sundari. It's a pleasure to have you with us today. And on a fireside chat with Sundari, who else you think could have been, right? This is going to be a super interesting conversation. We have with us our very own Dr. Nandini Murli, who is the Vice President for Learning and Research. You know all, right? Nandini is a great storyteller. She's an author. She writes fiction and non-fiction stories. She has over, I think, 6 published books, and 2 I hear are in the pipeline, which will be published in the month of Jan and then followed by March. I just cannot wait to hear from these 2 beautiful human beings, these 2 beautiful ladies who are lovers, true lovers of nature, who are storytellers. And the best part for me, according to me, is they both are such passionate advocates of lived experiences and sharing of those lived experiences. So I'm not going to be in the way of Nandini, Sundari, and the audience. Over to you, Nandini. Just can't wait to hear from you both.
Thank you. Thank you, LV. Thank you for that magnificent introduction, especially the bumblebee and also unveiling Sundari for us. Hello, viewers. Sundari, this is an absolute honor to be sharing a virtual platform with you. I can't wait for this conversation to unfold. Um, my first question is I should begin with letting you know that this is that time of the year when I curate my reading list for the year. I've got quite an impressive reading list. And honestly, the book that has impressed me most, that is number one on my reading list, is Bumblebee's Balcony. Thank you for writing that book, which for me was such an act of courage and candor. I saw it as a lived experience memoir. I saw it as a very agentic journey of a woman who incidentally also is navigating a disability. For me, it was a story of empowerment, of courage, of vulnerability. Thank you for being you, and thank you for writing this amazing book. I'd like you to tell our readers what really inspired you to write A Bumblebee's Balcony.
First of all, thank you very much for having me here. Thank you, Lakshmi, Dr. Nandini, and to the entire Avatar team for bringing up something like this diversity Mahotsav. I mean, it's just such a wonderful initiative, and I know what your team has been doing throughout the year, and this is only a fitting finale for a great year of creating, changing mindsets and working towards inclusion. So a big thank you. I'm privileged to be here today. And Dr. Nandini, I'm a big fan of yours, as you know. For the last 5 years, I've been, and following your book, and I'm actually reading your book, and it's like an amazing account of resilience, and that teaches us a lot. So it's an honor for me to be in conversation with you today. So thank you again. Now, over to the bumblebee. As I was just telling Dr. Nandini before the session began, it's a very sacred conversation for me, the bumblebee, and what inspired me to come up with that. I am someone who believes in synchronicity of life, and this title is not something which I sat and thought about and came up with, or even the book. Um, I have always been writing since I was a kid. The Dear Diary has been a big springboard for me. I would write. Initially started with why do I fall down? Why am I not able to stand up and walk like my friends? And why am I getting very tired? And all of those things. And the diary soon became my friend. And I always had plans for writing my own book, being the avid reader that I am. But there was this one incident that happened sometime in 2008. I had just got my wheelchair, and I was still hanging on to the little bit of walking that I had. But I would fall down very frequently those days and always had some injury or the other. So on that day, the previous day, I had a fall and the hair clip got stuck into my head. And there was a lot of bleeding, and I had a big bandage, and I couldn't go to work. I was kind of depressed, and I went to the temple in Besanagar. There, I was already feeling a little low, but still, low in my standard is not something, not having a grumpy face, or, I mean, it's not having a grumpy face or, complaining mode. I was always somebody who would love to see people smiling, and I am that way. So even when I was having a bad day, I was outwardly, probably I was sending a positive note. And there was this lady who was watching me from afar, around 70 years of age. And from my conversation with her, somebody from an affluent family, well educated. And she told me that day, she was actually looking at me with a sad and happy, mix of sadness and happiness on her face. And then she told that she had a daughter who met with an accident 25 years before our conversation. That was in 2008. And that daughter was in that time 50 years of age. And after the accident, she kind of withdrew into her own world. She refused to come out of the house. And they had cars, they had helpers, assistants, money, education, everything was there. But there was something that was missing, which was difficult for the mother to get the daughter out of her space, out of the world that she has built for herself, which was not much from what I heard. And she was, when she left the temple, she told me, "Today I'm going to talk about you to my daughter and probably get her to come out and at least take a walk along the beach." The house was right opposite of the beach, and she never came out even for a walk. And that night, when I wrote in the diary, something struck me. I've always been writing, and I have always been used to people calling me an inspiration, and I hated that. But on that day, I realized that there is something that will come very easily for everyone, which is acceptance. Accepting who we are, accepting our own, circumstances and journey. And there is always that loop that we go to. If only that had not happened. If only, I was not born this way. If only that divorce didn't happen. If only that, the child didn't go missing. There are a lot of if onlys in our lives. Well, we can't control what has already happened or what has happened, but we can control how we respond to it. And so that actually propelled me to give shape to my book. And it is a it is an intention to get people to think about what they have, and own their circumstances, embrace their uniqueness, and look at the strengths of their lives, look at the people who are there. We will be talking about allyship soon. So it's a conversation on resilience. And over the last 5 years, and I'm very glad to see that it has given hope to many young adults with and without disabilities to pursue their dreams, and young mothers as they grapple with parenthood, mothers and fathers, parenthood. And I'm glad for what the Bumblebee has brought in several lives.
Thank you. Thank you, Sundari. That was so profoundly reflective. And I found myself resonating with every word you said. You know, you have a very intriguing title for the book. It's so metaphorical. I know Elvi touched upon it briefly, but we would like to hear from you. What does the bumblebee symbolize? And then, specifically in the context of your life, your journey, and your work.
Yeah. So I'm sure there must be many engineers here, and people from science background. And so sometime in the 90s, there was a lot of discussion around the bumblebee's flight based on aerodynamic theory. And it was concluded that the bumblebee should not be able to fly when it is based upon the aerodynamic theory. And it was also published in some places. But the bumblebee has always been flying, and that's not because of aerodynamic. The thing is, aerodynamics work on the bumblebee during when it is static, but when it starts flying, it's the stability laws that work. It has a very round body with very short, and the wings are not like the other insects. So it was very easy to conclude that the bumblebee cannot fly, but it has always been flying. So this has actually, to me, the bumblebee is a symbol of courage and determination, and living beyond limitations. Because the bumblebee keeps defying the odds, which is not being able to fly. And it does that because it tries. It tries it does it in its own way. And so I feel there are several bumblebees in the world, many bumblebees in the world, who are defying odds at every stage. It could be gravity for the bumblebee, and also to me, it is actually literally gravity. But to many others, it could be any situation in their life that is holding them back, not being able to live fully. So there are many bumblebees in the world, and I wanted this book to be a tribute to them. And the balcony is a very it's a kind of a reflective space where we shape our narratives, we shape our stories, where we our dreams take shape and unfold. So that is how I came up with that bumblebee's balcony. And it's like a combination. It's a world of it's a world where uh, mundane day-to-day things happen, but the way we respond to those things shape our life in the large canvas of things. So the bumblebee is an intimate account of everyday life, and the focus is on choice of response. You know, whatever be the circumstances, it could be loss of abilities, it could be loss of opportunities, doors being shut on our faces, but in the end, we have a choice. So the book is about that.
Beautiful. Thank you, Sundari. That was so life affirmative. I just loved the way you highlighted the difference between choice and response, and the need to make those informed choices, and the distinction that we may not be able to control the circumstances always, but where we have control is in our choices. And as I was listening to you, I was reminded of Hafiz, the Persian poet. His two lines, it goes something like this: what gives you the strength to defy the law, the gravity of pain? And then he says, oh love, love lifts my wings. So, you reminded me of Hafiz's lines. And our next question, as you are aware, Sundari, you've played a significant role as a very significant contributor to Viewport 24, which is on the theme of disability inclusion at the workplace in terms of that wonderful in-depth interview with you. So we would like to hear from you. What does true allyship look like in workplaces when it comes to disability inclusion? Because as we all know, we have a long way to go. And could you share a personal example of, in fact, impactful allyship towards persons with disability in the workplace?
Yeah. Uh, okay. Before we get to the workplace allyship, in the book, I have spoken a lot about the people who have uh, propelled my flight.
Yeah.
So it could my immediate family, friends, my teachers in both the special schools and regular schools, my physiotherapist, my first employer, HR manager, my colleagues. I think all of them embody the spirit of allyship. They were the first allies in my life. And why do I call them allies? Because they helped me to see myself beyond my disability, beyond a person with beyond cerebral palsy, and all the resultant challenges that I live with every day. So these people whom I call as allies, they help me to have confidence in myself, help me to do away with the shackles of self-doubt and anxiety, uncertainties, and they actually help me solidify my conviction and my dreams and to work towards them. I think the same principle applies in the workplace as well. That's what allies do in the workplace. They may not be related to you, they may not be friends, but um, they make someone feel seen and heard beyond their disability. So I've had several allies over the last 15 years of my career in various industries. I was part of a bank and then a newspaper, a major newspaper at that. And then I was part of an IT firm and in the uh, corporate journey for about 15 years now. So they have helped me in different ways to not to give up and to continue on the journey in spite of the hundreds of challenges. And I can say for sure that the challenges are not coming down in any way, the personal challenges. Um, but they make sure that I stay on the game, I give my best, I perform and grow. That's what allies do. To give an example, I've had in interviews, job interviews at a coffee shop when I was joining HCL. There was a turning point in my life when I gave up day-to-day commuting to office because my body was not supporting that anymore, and I decided to work in flexible schedules, work from home and go to office whenever it's possible. At the same time, I wanted a very competitive role. And at that time, work from home was considered to be something on the margins, that was you do as freelancing, but not meant for somebody who's ambitious, who had lots of career ambitions. I wanted that corner office. I had always wanted that corner office, but it was difficult for me to go to office every day. So how do I manage that? And it was a APP at that time, and she suggested let's do an interview at the coffee shop, and because there was some construction work going on in the ramps, and she came to the coffee shop on a Monday morning, a very busy Monday morning, and we discussed a lot about strengths and what I can contribute to the organization, the value that I can bring to the table. At the same time, keeping in mind the physical challenges that I have. And over the next 8 years, when I worked there, I had several opportunities to travel because I got a lot of support there, accessible accommodation, accessible travel. And in the end, I worked with the top leadership there. And I mean, it's been a very satisfying journey so far. All because I had an ally in the leader who was responsible for that division. And she walked the talk. So I think that is a power allies hold. And that is not just relegated to leadership roles, also team members, anyone can be an ally. And yesterday there was a cultural program in my office. It's like the annual cultural program, and I was handling the communication for that from end to end throughout the year. And there was the last day, and I was getting ready to go because I had to do the social media. And then my manager and my colleague, and they said, gee, it's going to be a little difficult because it's going to be very loud with my hearing aids and a lot of noise. And, it was something that they sounded me. And they also know that you can do that with the video on. You don't have to be there and put yourself in the middle of that noise. And at the same time, they also encouraged me to attend a Christmas carol that happened earlier this day, because that was not going to be very noisy. And at the same time, I can have fun being with the team. And so small acts make somebody an ally. It is not something that will have to be thought out and strategized. In your everyday actions, you can be an ally. So,
Just love that the way small acts can have huge impacts. Sundari, my next question is has to do with the role of persons with lived experience. In this context, persons with a lived experience of disability. What role does lived experience play in, in changing and challenging narratives which are deeply embedded in stigma, in outdated attitudes, belief systems that are really not aligned with the lived reality of persons with disability?
yeah. Um, yeah, I get what you said. I'm just, yes, lived experience also means that we have been through that mess. We have been through that unpleasant part of uh, that challenge. And we have come out of that, or we have learned to live with that. I would say it is not always possible to overcome a situation. I'm not a big fan of overcoming, but learning to live with that challenge. And that puts us on an edge because, as for me, I live in a world which is not designed for me. The moment I get out of the house, I cannot use public transport. I cannot use a lot of public, facilities, but still I pay a hefty tax. That's another discussion. Um, what I'm saying is, when we have to negotiate with a lot of challenges day in and day out, that empowers us, equips us with certain skills. Um, I tend to think out of the box to deal with the situation. Yes, I cannot, be there at some place, but there is an alternative. So we tend to think creatively, think innovatively. I think that is the need of the hour in the workplace right now. Different perspectives we all need to have, and so lived experiences help us to share that with others in the team, and help them understand better, rather than just lip service, or I wouldn't say lip service. It's something that we've already gone through, and we're sharing that with others. And I think we are more authentically placed to help others understand the situation. And it is not always on the giving side, because we also need to learn, even when we have lived experiences. So that is why we say that the power of a single story, I mean, the danger of a single story, you know, we always need to keep our eyes open to learn from other people's stories. And so lived experience is a very, very powerful uh, channel for making people more mindful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I completely resonate with what you shared, Sundari, because I think people with lived experiences have such a clear view of what it is at the ground level, which is so different from what a situation would look like 30,000 feet high. And I also see that it's an idea whose time has come, where people with lived experiences are seen as significant stakeholders in creating, in this case, in embedding allyship at the workplace. So let me just check if there is any question from the audience. Maybe we could have you respond to that.
Uh, Nandini, I don't see any questions. We haven't solicited, but we
Yeah,
can maybe announce to the audience that we can take a
sure,
couple of questions or maybe a
sure.
little more than couple. But you please
Yeah.
carry on. This is too beautiful for us to interrupt.
Oh, yeah, I was just mindful of time. That's why I have a
Thank
whole
you.
lot of
Thank you. I will
questions.
interrupt. Yeah, I will
Okay,
interrupt.
thanks,
Yeah.
thanks, thanks for that, LV. Sundari, there's another thing which, as a DI professional, I would be very concerned when it comes to disability inclusion. What is the role of allies in, moving beyond those surface level metrics? Representation, disability inclusion is representation. How do we go beyond that to address some of the systemic barriers, those systemic factors which really make disability inclusion so challenging? And as a person with lived experience, I would be very curious to listen and learn from your perspectives.
Yeah. Um, I think any change, especially in changing the mindset of people, takes a long time. It takes a long time. And, generally, I've seen conversations around disability being pushed to December, around International Day of Disability. And the best way to make disability inclusion beyond a checklist, is to work towards a space, what do you call it? Work towards continuous engagement with the workforce, with the teams, and to make conversations around disability more easier for people, because very often people shy away from engaging with someone with a disability because they are very scared
Yeah,
of commenting, saying something which could be offensive, or they're scared of hurting others. Or they may also be wondering what if they ask for some help and they will not be able to help that person. That would look very bad. So many people step back because of that as well. So they tend to walk on eggshells when it comes to disability inclusion. We are slightly better off in the gender area. You
mm,
know, uh,
yeah,
yeah, but disability is still considered to be tragic, something which is very, very difficult to live with, and that like the ultimate punishment. It's still being considered that way. But disability, yes, of course, it comes with a lot of challenges, but it's just one part of life. So we are individuals with good days and bad days, and so to understand that, people need to cross that illusion of inspiration. Yeah, I wouldn't call that okay. I say illusion because that creates a big halo, and that creates more distance. between persons with disabilities and others. It makes it like them versus us, and that's not helping at all. So it is being disability is being perceived as either superhuman. They are like they have lots of talents. They are very brave, very courageous, or it's being snubbed. Like okay, always talking down to that person, talking to the caregiver.
Wow.
So it is like polar, either this side or this side.
Yeah.
So that makes conversations difficult around disability. So to tide over that, yes, leaders will have to play a role, and
Yeah.
managers, team managers will definitely have to uh, get teams to work together. It's not just about hiring. Yes, we have come to a place where we recognize the importance of having um, hiring pipelines for persons with disabilities. But what after hiring? When they come in, how are you going to continuously keep them engaged and empower everyone to work together? Every day, we're not going to be like, oh, you're my inspiration. Not that. So probably you go for lunch and try fixing a lunchroom when you have a person with a disability in your team. You will learn a lot, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, finding a place which is accessible, or organizing a cultural program which is not too loud, or when you plan an outstation trip. So there's a lot of things come to the fore, and that will help us to learn. So instead of just talking about inclusion, just act. Act. Just go for a movie with your team member with a disability. You will learn a
Yeah.
lot. And
Absolutely.
yeah, and it's not like I don't know. Very often I'm being considered to be as a goody goody girl in the team, and somebody who was saintly. My people have a different story at home. My friends will tell a different story at home. So I think we need to see disability as part of human diversity, and not give loaded emotions to that. That is the first step. Secondly, be genuinely interested, and be authentically interested in the team member. Because over the years, I think I've developed feelers for patronizing tone. I know when it is a tokenism and when it is being authentic. Yeah, so it's okay if you keep quiet, that's fine. But be authentic in engaging the person, and always empathize. Empathy is a big thing when it
Yeah.
comes to uh, becoming an ally,
Yeah.
and that goes for everyone. For me, just to give an example, last month in November, we celebrated International Men's Day, right? And we organized our diversity council. We organized a session on fatherhood and beyond. It's titled Fatherhood and Beyond, and I gave the joining link to my brother, who's a father of a toddler, and I asked him to join, just join, see how it goes. And when he was there, and when the conversation was going on, I realized a lot of things that I didn't understand till then about being a father, about being a man, the mental health issues faced by men. And they don't express the way we women do, and how becoming a father, uh, it's not organic like how it was thought out to be. We tend to see the mother has a lot of challenges, but the father has a lot of stress too, not just providing for the family, but a whole lot of expectations being thrust on them. And here I was thinking my brother is acting weird for last 1 year or so, and only after going through that session I realized. And then after the session, he pinged me, "Thank you," and I said, "Thank you," because now I have learned. I kind of understand where you are, and I'll be your ally. So I think there are lots of opportunities for us to be allies every single day. For example, there could be a single father in the team,
Yeah.
or someone who is trying for a baby, the fertility treatments, and they are taking a little more. number of days off, but still they are very good at work. So it just takes a little bit of empathy for us. And
That was beautiful, Sundari, especially that segment. I think that was a fantastic hands-on session, awareness and sensitization on disability inclusion. I don't want this conversation to end, but I think all good things in life have to come to an end so that they begin again. On that note, thank you for being here. Thank you for the gift of this conversation with you, and more luck, more power, and the best of everything to you in life.
thank
It's
you.
over to you, LV.
Thank
Thank
you very
you.
much. It's been a heartfelt conversation. And thank you for having me again.
Thank you. Thank you, Sundari. It was our pleasure and honor to have you today. And I think the nuggets of learning that you have given us, we can just capsule them in chotu models and use it in different forms. So they were absolutely wonderful. Thank you, Sundari, for having taken time out of your busy schedule to be part of the fourth edition of Diversity Mahotsav. Thanks a lot, Sundari. Thank you so much, Dr. Nandini, for doing this for us. This was absolutely wonderful. As I mentioned when I was introducing the two of you, I think, it was just too beautiful to come to see the two, great storytellers sparking those conversations. So amazing, amazing conversation. Thank you so much. On that note, I think we can move on to the next exciting part. My dear audience, as part of the work that we do at Avatar, our annual viewport, which is designed with a lens through key metrics, trends, and insights, and all of these are analyzed and we share it with a larger audience. It's an annual report that we release every year in the month of December, which coincides with our Avatar's anniversary. Yes, we have stepped into our 25th glorious year of operating in the space of diversity, equity, and inclusion, powering workplace cultures. So the viewport topics have covered some amazing, amazing topics, and in fact, one of the viewports on second career women still stands out for the industry and particularly the media persons as a ready reckoner on stats and data with respect to second career women in India. The viewports serve as a benchmark for progress, to drive accountability, to spark those conversations, and the eventual impact that we aim is to enable inclusive leaders with certain actionable data and insights to eventually create more equitable workspaces. To unveil the 2024 viewport and to give us more about the topic, the background of the 2024 viewport, I now invite, it is my pleasure and also delight, if I may say so, to invite Karthik Ekambram, the co-founder and head of solutions at Avatar Group. Thank you so much, Karthik, for joining in today with us. Karthik is a DI specialist and has completed more than 2 decades of a at Avatar, and he's been part of many DI projects for various organizations. In fact, he was somebody who was also instrumental, along with Dr. Soundarya, to devise flexible working policies and has created several diversity-ready workplaces for many organizations. And the impact that we see that over a lakh of women who've been placed through Avatar are, are a resultant of the great work that has gone behind it by Karthik and, with under the leadership of Dr. Soundarya. So thank you so much, Karthik. Over to you, Karthik, here.
Thank you, Lakshmi. I think it's been a great session, and I really would like to thank Dr. Nandini and Sundari. I think we had some great, interesting conversation today on the entire aspect of inclusion and allyship. And I clearly loved what Sundari spoke about, the entire aspect of Bumblebee. And while it may not be designed to fly, but the spirit and determination, it enables to fly. And imagine all the people with disability or anyone for that matter entering to the workplace. And if you have really the support of allies, the kind of flight and the growth that each individual would have will be really amazing. And today, I'm very happy to talk about the viewport, and the viewport is all about focusing on the role of allyship to ensure that we have inclusive and equitable workplace. Just to talk about some of the work that we have done in the space of uh, research. Avatar, ever since it was founded by Dr. Soundarya Rajesh in the year 2000, has always been rooted in research. Research has been the core of the various work that we have done in the space of DI, be it the launch of second career programs, crafting and designing career comeback programs with organizations to hire women on break, uh, designing tools and assessments on workplace culture and career intentionality assessment and various assessment that we actually offer to individuals and organizations has been from the various research that we have done. We even have most of our workshops, various interactive initiatives that we do stems from the research that the team actually works year on year. The best companies study for women in India, the most inclusive companies in India, all sort of leads to the belief that research can really truly transform and provide very interesting insights and innovative practices to really transform the workplace. And therefore, research has been the integral part of the work that we do at Avatar. While we do a lot of research on our own, we also partner with organizations who are deeply committed and are aligned to our interests in terms of truly building transformative workplace. We have partnered with Google in terms of the impact of upskilling that can have on women. A partnership with EY studied the leadership models for women in India. The women engineers, women in engineering, their inclusion in the manufacturing operations engineering sector in partnership with GE. We partnered with CI as well on women in STEM. Partnership with Aditya Birla Capital to look at entire aspect of DEI in the BFS sector. These are some of the work that we have done with organizations who are truly interested and committed. Coming back to the topic of Viewport, ever since Avatar was launched, Viewport has been our annual exercise where we do some very cutting edge research. And through the research, we are able to provide some interesting insights to the organizations who are really interested in those findings and really interested in implementing some of those recommendations. What you see here, some of the viewports that we do year on year on various aspects of inclusion. Uh, I'm very happy to talk about the Viewport 2024. It's called Inclusion Through Allyship. And it basically looked at the contributions of employees in organizations to include persons with disability in the workplace. We looked at how can we identify key actions, attitudes, beliefs, and systematic enablers that would foster equitable and inclusive environments. The methodology that we used, we talked to people from diverse cohorts, including persons with disability, managers and leaders. We had focus group discussion, which looked at the various perspectives and aspects of allyship, the role of technology, and the accommodations that are required for including persons with disability in the workplace and for career progressions as well. The theme that we looked at for the discussion considered these aspects: the allyship dynamics, barriers to allyship, the lived experiences of persons with disabilities and other employees. Both Dr. Nandini and Sundari spoke about the importance of lived experiences and the impact on the corporate policies and practices. So the entire the study looked at feedback from organizations through focus group discussions from persons with disability, from managers and leaders. And these are some of the recommendations that stems from the research. All know the importance of creating awareness, but build awareness of the foundation. It's very critical. Starting early. It's not just sensitization at the organization level. Can we start those sensitization at the school and higher education level? And the awareness is just not limited to few segments of the employees or the organization. It has to be right through cutting across the entire organization. So therefore, building the strong foundation is very important. It is very important to foster supportive relationships. And Sundari also spoke about some of those points there. How do we ensure that we prioritize and foster relationship building within the organization? How can we encourage and champion allyship is another very, very important part of ensuring that we're able to provide inclusive workplaces. Not just building awareness and building relationships, it is very important to provide meaningful accommodation. It's very important, specifically when you talk about inclusion of persons with disability, ensuring we are able to have accessible workplace, ensuring that we have technologies and systems and processes which are accessible is going to be very, very critical. And therefore, you also need to tailor some of the support that is required based on individual needs. So you can't just have a very generic approach to inclusion. You really need to have a tailored and a need-based approach to ensure that we're really truly creating an inclusive workplace for all. And it also all needs to be sort of come together with respect and ensure that there is inclusive interactions. At the end of the day, we need to communicate with each other, interact with each other, and the foundation of that is through respect and ensure that not just respect, we are able to overcome stereotypes and biases, and therefore helping our employees, the organization, to be aware of those stereotypes, ensure that we're able to help them minimize some of the biases is going to be very critical. Ensure that we're also able to equip them with inclusive language communication, inclusive communications, and also can we also learn some basics sign language. Therefore, we are able to interact and therefore build relationships. Further, with some of the recommendation that has come out, we need to ensure that inclusion is embedded into the entire organization process. So it is just not about the aspect of sensitization, learning languages. It needs to be in the DNA of the organization. Therefore, right from drafting the job description to your interview process to your hiring process, the entire onboarding, training, performance appraisal, promotion, growth, various aspects, you really need to embed inclusion into your organization process and to ensure that you also have the feedback mechanism. The voice of the employees is very important for you to really sort of get insights to see what they really want, and therefore we're able to continuously refine our policies, programs, and practices is going to be another very important part of it. And it is just not about providing opportunities and providing jobs. It is ensure that each and everyone is able to progress within the organization. Therefore, we really need to have a clear career path designed and defined for a person's disability. How can we ensure that we're able to provide specific need-based skilling programs, mentorship, and sponsorship? These are going to be very, very important factor. And we can't discount the importance of technology and innovation. And these are going to be a big differentiator to ensure that we are able to have innovative, accessible tools to ensure that we are able to have persons with disability, irrespective of the disability, they are able to successfully integrate and contribute to the growth of the organization, to their own career growth as well. And as I spoke before, the entire aspect of building an inclusive workplace culture is very, very important. Therefore, we normalize disability inclusion and we don't sort of move away from the special accommodation. Therefore, it needs to be become the part of the DNA culture of the organization. And it is very important. This is where the leadership team comes in. This has to be very sustained to be successful. And therefore, the role of leadership is very, very critical to ensure that we have truly an inclusive workplace for everyone, and specifically in this particular context for persons with disability. To you, and I'm very, very happy to launch the And you can also download this, scan the QR code to download the full report. You can also log on to www.avtarinc.com, avtarinc.com. From the insights section, you can download this report. I would suggest, I will request you to go through the report. Feel free to write to us for any information that you would need in some of the recommendations that is actually given. Happy to support you in as a implementation of those recommendations as well. And Looking forward to your hearing from you, looking forward to your feedback, and we would also encourage to participate in the various research that we do, and we'll be writing to you about our upcoming research projects that we'll be working on. With that, I would also like to congratulate the entire team which worked on this the study. Thanks to all the organizations that participated in the study as well. And Happy New Year to you all, and best wishes, and have a great day and a great weekend. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Karthik. In fact, it was Dr. Nandini who had spearheaded the research, and also to let the audience know that Sundari has also kind of contributed immensely in the research, the way it has shaped up today. Thank you so much once again, Karthik, for unveiling the Viewport 2024 for all of us. Speaking about allyship, my dear audience, we all don't you think it's very important that the inclusion, let's talk about inclusion, let's talk about DEI. It should begin at the grassroots level, right? So when we're talking about DEI at grassroots level, what do we mean? Can we have the next slide, team? Karthik has kind of moved on. So speaking about allyship, I said, we have to go to the grassroots level. So what does that mean when we say grassroots level? It begins right at the academics. It begins right at the time when we have the next Gen Alphas, or the Gen Zs, of course, have already entered the workplaces. So we have the Gen Alphas coming in. So it has to start right there, right? So in our pursuit of DEI journey, and in our pursuit, so in our framework of the 6E framework, and one of the E's is extending diversity, and we extend it with our educational institutions. So as part of the diversity Mahotsav, we year on year hold a contest, a hackathon kind of a contest called Diversathon year on year, which runs into the educational institutions. We solicit papers, we have teams come and present various presentations on the solutioning of certain DEI challenges that the India Inc. face, and also the educational institutions face. We had a marathon of presentations yesterday, and my dear audience, I must tell you, it was heartening to see each and every institution coming and presenting with so much intentionality. Now, to present the winners announcement, I think this is the most exciting part, and also the awaited. I see a lot of students who have joined in from yesterday. Thank you so much. So now, to kind of, build your anxiety levels a little more, please hold on. We have the announcement happening right now. To announce the winners, we have with us, and it's my pleasure and honor to invite Mr. Umashankar Kandaswamy, the co-founder and also the Senior Vice President, Sales and Relationships of Avatar Group, to announce the winners of Diversathon 2024. Umashankar is a dynamic professional. He's an engineer with a master's in public administration. Umashankar has over 25 years of experience, as the designation suggests. Yes, he co-founded Avatar with Dr. Soundarya Rajesh in the year 2000. As a co-founder, Umashankar has played a key role in developing and implementing several innovative programs that provide innovative DEI solutions to the India Inc. And through his leadership, the company Avatar, we have grown into a highly respected organization, and we continue to impact positively the lives of many, many people. He has been instrumental in driving the revenue growth and expanding Avatar's visibility and presence. And I must tell you, he relentlessly drives the efforts towards increasing women's workforce participation at India Inc. He is also the trustee of Avatar Human Capital Trust, which has some great initiatives such as Project Putri and Mitra. Mitra expansion stands for Men Impacting Trust and Respect. Thank you so much, Umashankar, for joining us. Over to you for the announcement of winners.
Thank you, Elvi. Thanks, Lakshmi. That was wonderful. And thanks for the lovely introduction. Hello, everyone. So I know the most awaited part is just now going to be unveiled. I hope you all enjoyed the 15th day of Diversity Mahotsav 2024, the 4th edition of this remarkable event that we do year on year. Among the many activities hosted during Diversity Mahotsav, one of the most special to us at Avatar is Diversathon, where you all have participated. So to the people who don't know what is Diversithon, what is Diversithon? Diversithon is a unique initiative designed for educational institutions. It invites teams of students from diverse streams guided by the faculty to present ideas on DEI in education. This year theme was DEI for all. The role of Gen Z in leveraging diversity, equity, and inclusion. As workplace increases welcome Gen Zs, their role in shaping the future of DEI is critical. To spark ideas, we presented participants with about 4 challenges. Challenge 1, how can colleges develop a comprehensive playbook for inclusive behavior to make campuses safer and more inclusive, ensuring everyone feels valued and respected? Challenge 2, what interventions, policies, and practices can colleges adopt to align with corporate DA priorities, fostering diversity and preparing students for inclusive workplaces? Challenge 3, how can institutions evolve curricula to better represent diverse identities, fostering inclusion, and preparing students for a multicultural world? The last one, the fourth challenge would be, how can colleges ensure diversity in research teams and innovation labs to drive creativity and equitable societal impact? So these are the challenges given to the students. We've received about 20 to 25 registrations. And yesterday, the shortlisted teams presented their ideas. The energy, the creativity, and the passion displayed by these young minds were truly inspiring. Now it's time to announce the winners of Diversithon 2024. So first, let's go with the runner-up. The runner-up institution is Vivekananda Educational Society's Institute of Management, Mumbai. I would request the team members, Chanchal, Alka, Arpita, who have presented the topic of developing a comprehensive playbook for inclusive behavior on college campuses to foster safety, inclusivity, and belonging to all. Can I have all the three of you to come on camera and share a few words about this?
Chanchal, could you unmute yourself? Yeah, thank you. Chanchal, if you're speaking, we can't hear you. Or if Aparna, yeah, there.
Ma'am, can you see us?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir, and our team.
Hearty congratulations, Chanchal. So that's
Thank you, sir.
yeah. You want to say something? How has it been? How has this experience has been for you?
So it was a great experience for as this was my first national level paper presentation. So it was a wonderful experience. I would like to thank everyone, Seema ma'am and Avatar team for this opportunity.
Awesome. So hearty congratulations to the entire team worked on this, and wishes for many more accolades to come in your way. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome. So now we would like to announce the winners. The institution name is Dwarakadas Govardhan Das Vaishnav College, Chennai. Team members Aparna, Sudipta, Amrita. The topic they presented was aligning educational institutions with corporate DI priorities through interventions, policies, and practices to nurture diversity and create a sense of belonging. Can I have Aparna, Sudipta, Amrita Yeah. You may want to unmute and share your experiences. Nadi, congratulations, Aparna. Go ahead. I think you're still on mute.
Aparna, would you like to unmute yourself? Okay. Yeah. Back to you, Mashankar. I think we're finding some difficulty in unmuting. Yeah.
No, you're not audible, Aparna. You'll have to unmute yourself. You're muted yourself. You want to try once more, Aparna?
So, can you hear me?
Oh,
This
yes.
is Geeta.
Yeah, Geeta, go ahead.
It was a wonderful experience for us. So, this is the first paper presentation for us
Lovely.
after joining LHRM, and it was a wonderful start to get into the research field and explore it. And I guess the topic is also very interesting, and we learned a lot. Thank you for this opportunity. Yes,
Awesome.
Ash.
Fantastic. So thanks for coming in on video to share your experiences, and best wishes and hearty congratulations for winning Devasathon 2024.
Thank you, sir.
So congratulations to everyone who participated, and congratulations to both the teams, both the winning and the runner team. And we wish you the very best as you continue a journey in fostering DEI within yourself and to the institutions and to the entire society and beyond. So thank you everyone for being part of Devasathon 2024, and best wishes for all of us, and as well as wishing all a great evening and a amazing future in 2025. Over to you, Lakshmi. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Umashankar, for doing the honors for us. It was really, really wonderful. Thanks a lot for extending your support to the students that have come today from different institutions. Hearty congratulations. And give yourselves a big cheer. Give yourselves an absolutely great clap. I think you all were absolutely wonderful yesterday. The other teams that participated, each and every idea that you all presented were truly great, and they were practically doable ideas, if I have to put it in simple words. I think that's what we were looking for, and it was an amazing experience for us as well at Avatar to experience the DEI with you. So thank you so much for that wonderful participation, and with that we come to the close of the fourth edition of Diversity Mahotsav, the last day of Diversity Mahotsav 2024. Thank you so much, audience, those who have joined us from day one to now. I think my heartfelt gratitude and thanks to each one of you who's traveled with us the last 15 days. Thank you so much for being excellent audience and for your wonderful participation, which also kind of gave us that space to learn and to do many other things through these 15 days. So thank you so much for that. I would also like to take a couple of minutes to thank our partners, without whom this wouldn't have been possible. Thank you so much, our sponsors, EPAM Systems. Thank you. We will come back to that later. Thanks a lot. Thank you so much, our partners, EPAM Systems, our supporting partners, Innovation Catalyst partner, EPAM Systems, supporting partners, CRISIL, Genesis, Via Plus by Vinci Highways and Zushi Systems. You can stay on that slide of YouTube, my team. That's absolutely fine, because I just want to remind everyone out here to post your experience at Diversity Mahotsav on your SM handles by tagging us using the hashtag celebrating diversity, hashtag Diversity Mahotsav. And don't forget, all of these episodes, the 15 episodes, if any of you has missed any of the previous episodes, they are available on our YouTube channel, Avatar, the Power of Diversity channel. You could go back to the YouTube channel and then watch all the episodes. The QR code is not up on the screen, but I think we will have the QR code soon. So you can scan the QR code and go to the YouTube channel. And yes, myavatar.com is our portal, where if you haven't registered yourselves so far, please do register yourselves. MyAvatar is the go-to place for you to explore various career opportunities and activities, and to celebrate yourselves, to celebrate diversity. You will find jobs that might suit your skill. You will find articles that will be of interest for you. And there are so many webinars, through which you can upskill yourselves. So please do log on to myavatar.com for all the all the opportunities that we have. So thank you so much. Before I sign off, I just want to thank all the speakers from day 1 to day 15, the programming, the content, and the team behind putting together the event, the 15-day event, the team at Avatar. Thank you, Dr. Soundarya Rajesh, our founder president at Avatar, for her vision of celebrating diversity in the month of December, dedicating a month only for diversity, wherein we bring everybody together and have these heart-to-heart conversations. We had Rekha Menon, and we had a mother and son duo who are doing some amazing work. The mother writing the script and the son producing movies. And we had a presentation on fashion. There were brilliant other things that were spoken about through these last 15 days. So I urge each one of you, those who have missed the previous episodes, please do go to our channel and you will be able to watch all the episodes. I once again thank our sponsors, EPAM System, supporting sponsor CRISIL, supporting sponsor Genesis, Via Plus by Vinci Highways, and Zushi Systems. Thank you so much, everyone. Thanks to my team, the tech team at Avatar. There is Guru, Vasu, Gokul, Harshini. Thank you so much, Karthik and Umashankar, the two co-founders at Avatar, who've been driving the event from the start. Thank you, everyone, and everybody else who's put in a lot of efforts. The marketing team, a huge kudos to Janani and team and everybody. There is Bala, there is Janani, there is so many people. So thank you, everyone. And here is Lakshmi Vijay Kumar, who is signing off on the last day of Diversity Mahotsav, wishing each one of you a very, very happy New Year, a splendid 2025. Season's greetings. Merry Christmas. Till then, we see you all again in 2024 with our various new set of events. We have our job fair coming up in the month of February, which is on 22nd of February. So log on to My Avatar if you want to register for the job fair, and you are going to find your dream job in our upcoming edition. Thank you so much. Signing off, it's Lakshmi. Bye.